Good evening, I'm Taylor Thomas with the CTV News Update. A community is mourning following the senseless killing of a well-known boxing coach and community activist, Buddy Harrison.
Owned and operated two boxing gyms, one in Southeast D.C. and the other in Oxon Hill. Both were called Old School Boxing, and they were open to all kids, some as young as 5 years old, who needed a place to go. Dr. Rachel Sherman was a young single mother and aspiring boxer who trained with Buddy.
He was so excited, but also so protective of me as a young woman in a gym full of men. He was like a dad. It was amazing. I felt so safe with him.
I'm here in Oxon Hill at one of two of Buddy Harrison's boxing centers. It's a place where children in Prince George's County flocked for guidance and, of course, to learn how to box. But when you ask many in the community who Buddy Harrison was, they said he was more than a boxing coach. He was a father to some, he was a mentor to others, and a friend to all, especially young people looking for a safe haven. He was at the center 7 days a week, and oftentimes dipping into his own pockets to provide services for children in need.
Nothing stopped Buddy from showing up for his kids. He even showed up every day while he was being treated for prostate cancer. Later, seeing the need, he set up a free food pantry outside of his Naylor Gardens home in D.C., where he lived with his wife for over 2 decades. He was known to drive around D.C. and Maryland in his silver Ford F-150 and give out clothing and shoes to anyone in need. It's one of the many reasons that earlier this year, council member Sidney Harrison gave him the Muhammad Ali Community Service Award.
He was a person that was a beacon of light, of hope and peace in our community. His commitment, his dedication, and his sacrifice to our youth, making sure that they had a place to stay.
The concern now is about who will be there for the kids that Buddy leaves behind.
I know that Buddy is looking at us and all encouraging us to pick up where he left off.
Police are looking for as many as 3 suspects last seen in a white Kia Optimum with Ohio tags. DC MPD is offering a reward of up to $25,000 that leads to an arrest and conviction. National news, Hurricane Ian, the 5th hurricane of the Atlantic season, is expected to rapidly intensify this evening into a Category 3 with winds of 115 miles per hour. Ian is currently forecast to make landfall on the west coast of Florida by midday Thursday as a Category 4 storm. Hurricane watches have been issued for Tampa, Fort Myers, and Naples. Governor Ron DeSantis has declared a state of emergency for the entire state.
Florida National Guard has activated 5,000 Florida Guardsmen, as well as 2,000 additional Guardsmen from Tennessee, Georgia, and North Carolina that have been activated to help. We've also have 5 urban search and rescue teams that are activated. We have Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission mobilized and ready to support needed efforts.
This portion of the coastline, the west coast of Florida, is incredibly vulnerable to storm surge, very, very vulnerable to storm surge. And this is the quintessential case of not focusing on the exact track, because we won't have to have the track make, or the center make a direct hit for there to be significant storm surge along the Florida west coast.
President Joe Biden has approved Florida's emergency assistance request, which will allow FEMA to coordinate disaster relief and provide assistance to protect lives and property. A transgender teacher settles her discrimination and harassment lawsuit against the county school system. According to the lawsuit, in 2011, Jennifer Eller informed her principal at Kenmore Middle School that she would be transitioning. But Eller claims that Kenmore students began harassing her and that mistreatment continued when she transferred to Friendly High School. The lawsuit was set to go on trial on Wednesday. Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers for our area. The Maryland Department of Health has confirmed nearly 1,000 new cases. The positivity rate in Prince George's is at 9.56%. 9 Marylanders have died of COVID over the past 24 hours, and 463 people are hospitalized. You're watching CTV News. I'm Taylor Thomas. Coming up, we're in Capitol Heights for the celebration of 4 local centenarians. Stay with us for details.
For the 1 in 365 African Americans battling sickle cell disease, a cure exists, yet many Black patients do not have a compatible donor available on the Be the Match registry. You could be the cure. Learn more at endsicklecell.org.
Welcome back. Funeral plans for a longtime political leader in Prince George's have been announced. David Harrington, a former county council member and state senator, as well as the longtime CEO of the Prince George's Chamber of Commerce, will be laid to rest this Friday, September 30th, in Upper Marlboro. Services will be held at First Baptist Church of Glenarden at 600 Watkins Park Drive. The viewing will take place from 9:30 to 11 a.m. Funeral services will take place from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. A contentious zoning process is temporarily paused by the Prince George's County Council. The controversial plan would rezone parts of Bowie and Mitchellville, including the area around Bowie's Freeway Airport. Council Chair Calvin Hawkins says a joint public hearing set for this week will be rescheduled. Residents had argued that the process had been deliberately rushed to be on the books before a newly progressive council takes office. It's now unlikely the plan will be approved before those 6 new members are sworn in. Election boards across the state can count mail-in ballots early. A ruling by a Montgomery County judge on Friday rebuffs a challenge filed by GOP gubernatorial candidate Dan Cox. Cox had opposed a request by the State Board of Elections to allow early counting for the November general election. The state cited an expected deluge of mail-in ballots that could delay final results in some cases until December. State law had prevented the counting of mail-in ballots until 2 days after the polls close. Maryland, by the way, was the only state in the country with such a law. A local grassroots group that's dedicated to improving life in Prince George's County held a special ceremony in Capitol Heights. The Greater 202 Coalition honored 4 women for their longevity and life work. Each is a centenarian. They are from left to right. 100-year-old Evelyn Poole, who was born in Richmond in 1922, the oldest of the 4. 104-year-old Clementine Ruffin is in the white. 101-year-old Teresa Graves, who was the youngest of 23 children, and Ora Lee Davis, who turns 100 last Thursday and has 8 great-great-grandchildren. Each was given flowers and a citation.
All right. Congratulations on this amazing milestone. May this day be filled with laughter, love, joy, and all the joy and love that's in your heart. Many blessings from Senator Joanne C. Benson and the Greater 202 Coalition.
The event was held at St. Margaret's of Scotland's Catholic Church in Capitol Heights. Prince George's police are investigating a homicide that happened in the Suitland area near the Washington National Cemetery yesterday. Police were called to the 4600 block of Silver Hill Road around noon. On the report of a shooting, that's where they found 26-year-old Michael Morgan of Suitland on the sidewalk in front of a business with numerous gunshot wounds. Meantime, police have arrested 3 teenagers in connection with an armed carjacking yesterday in Oxon Hill. 2 of the teens are from Prince George's, 1 is from D.C. The weapon was a ghost gun. It happened just before 7 p.m. on the 6700 block of Livingston Road. The car was recovered. The 3 are being charged as adults. A grand jury has indicted Prince George's County police officer Travis Fowle, on charges of theft and misconduct in office. The charges follow an internal affairs investigation that dates back to 2018. He's accused of performing unauthorized work while on duty for the county. Fowle has been on the force since 1998, and in February of this year, he had his police powers suspended. Following his indictment, he was suspended without pay pending the outcome of his trial. And we'll be back with more news in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Can't believe you're doing this alone.
I've done it before.
I remember. You threw your back out. How you holding up?
Hand me that board.
Nothing wrong with getting help.
I'm good.
I did it when Felicia left.
I'll figure it out.
I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone. That's all I'm saying.
If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence?
Now you need my help.
It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm.
If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Well, the NBA season is basically here, everyone, and the team closest to us, the Washington Wizards, are looking to turn over a new leaf. The Wizards finished last season with a tough record of 35-47, but this season they added some new pieces to the roster in hopes to bring change. During the players' recent media day, the big three, KP, Bradley Beal, and Kyle Kuzma, had this to say.
As I go along in my career, I've gotten better and better efficiency-wise. But to take the next step again, and at the end that translates into helping the team more, and that translates into winning. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I'm just coming into my own, and really embracing being an all-around type of player. So, like I said, it's a waiting game. It's obviously very exciting, but we still have to get on the court and figure it out.
This all I know. I put in the work, and I trust the work that I put into it, just like my teammates do as well. And so every pressure that we create is just nothing that, unless it's something we have as a goal. If we fall short of our goal, it's when I'll get frustrated. I'm a human being. There's going to be frustrations. I'm going to be mad at myself probably more than anything. You guys know me. But for the most part, no. I understand there's going to be pressure, but pressure is what we make it.
And as I say, pressure makes diamonds. So we'll have to see how things shape out, because their first preseason game is against the reigning champs, the Golden State Warriors. Now also, Taylor, University of Maryland fell to Michigan.
School, I know. The Commanders game was so hard to watch.
It was.
It really was hard to watch. So
Definitely.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for the next matchup, right?
Definitely.
Well, the launch of NASA's Artemis spacecraft has been postponed due to Hurricane Ian. But the space agency has another exciting event taking place this evening. The DART mission will intentionally crash into a small asteroid, all in the name of planetary defense. Researchers say the likelihood is small of an asteroid being large enough to endanger Earth. The big question for researchers is, can NASA redirect an asteroid if we ever need to?
Is about NASA purposely crashing a spacecraft into an asteroid as the first planetary defense test mission. That mission is DART, the Double Asteroid Redirection Test. T stands for test. That's very important here. This is not a threat to the Earth. This asteroid is not a threat to the Earth, and the DART test won't make it a threat to the Earth. But we want to take the steps to develop technologies to potentially prevent asteroids from hitting the Earth in the future if we needed to.
The Double Asteroid Redirection Test was launched 10 months ago. If you'd like to follow the mission tonight, go to nasa.gov to watch it live. DART is scheduled to crash into the space rock at 7:14 this evening. And that's your CTV News Update. I'm Taylor Thomas. This is Laurencia Moten. Good night.